Brandon Drake, functional nutrition coach and therapeutic chef at heartfulfoods.com. So today I'm actually going to talk about the healing solutions of a leaky gut. So I'm going to talk about the different methods that you could implement to your daily lifestyle in order to start the healing of your leaky gut, otherwise known as pathogenic intestinal hyperpermeability. So there are many different methods that you could implement. There's many different foods or many different supplements that you can use, that you could take in order to start healing your leaky gut. So this video is going to have several parts because there are several different ways. And the reason why there are several different ways is because one method that works for somebody in terms of healing their leaky gut might not work for another person. So therefore, everybody has a different journey in order to get to the same destination. So that same destination is essentially the healing of the leaky gut, and that destination or that journey is going to be different for everybody. So that said, I'm actually going to talk about the different methods, and in multiple parts and multiple videos, I'll be talking about an expanded version of all the different methods there are to heal the leaky gut. So the first one is actually stewed apples. So essentially, stewed apples is just another name for applesauce. It's very easy to make. All you do is cut or dice 4 apples about 1 inch length in pieces. And after you cut up those apples, you throw them into a pot. And then what you do is you fill the pot with water about 1/3 the height of the apples. And then after that, you could throw in whatever warming spices you like. It doesn't matter. It all depends on what you like. You could put in also optional raisins. Optional spices are turmeric, ginger, clove, nutmeg, cinnamon, whatever is your liking. It doesn't matter. So from there, you basically bring it to a boil, and then when it starts boiling, then you turn the heat down to a simmer, and you simmer it between 10 to 15 minutes. You know it's done when the skin on the actual diced apples start to shimmer or to shine. That's basically a sign that the pectin has been released from the apples. Basically, pectin is the fiber, or otherwise known as a prebiotic, and it's actually beneficial because those prebiotics, which are the pectin, are feeding your beneficial microbes of your microbiome, basically allowing them to thrive and to grow and to multiply. It's food. Also, too, not only that, the pectin is not just food for your gut microbes, but it's also responsible for helping to heal and seal your leaky gut. So that is definitely the benefits of making stewed apples. And also too, if you don't want just straight up stewed apples, you could actually make steel cut oatmeal with apples, and that's what I do on a daily basis. I make that part of my lifestyle. So if you don't just want stewed apples, you can get real fancy and make these fancy steel cut oats with diced apples. It's actually very easy with steel cut oats. Throw in steel cut oats, water, or almond milk, whatever the case may be, or any kind of spices that you like. For me, I put in cinnamon, turmeric, ginger, either peanut butter, almond butter, and I dice up my apples. I throw them in there, and because steel cut oats take about 30 to 40 minutes to cook, automatically the pectin is going to be released from the apples. So all the time, every day, on a daily basis, I'm eating these steel cut oats with apples and all the different warming spices, and the pectin is being released from these apples and helping to heal and seal my leaky gut. I don't have a leaky gut because I don't manifest any unwanted chronic symptoms, but I'm continually strengthening my gut to make sure that is well enforced and strong, to ensure that I do not suffer from any kind of inflammatory issues. So therefore, if you don't want a just plain stewed apples, you could always integrate the stewed apples into your spiced up steel cut oats. And also too, if you are going to just do stewed apples, it's good to take about 4 to 5 tablespoons worth a day of this stewed apples for about 4 to 6 weeks, because it takes that long in order to start healing the gut. However, know that you will not heal your gut if you're going to eat the common inflammatory foods that continually insult your intestines. So if you are eating these inflammatory foods while you're eating stewed apples, it's not going to work. The healing of and sealing of your gut is not going to function properly. You actually have to be very disciplined and make sure that you avoid the common inflammatory foods that cause your leaky gut. So that's just a disclaimer for the stewed apples. It's not just a one-trick pony. You actually have to integrate many other healthful lifestyles into your overall life in order to start healing your leaky gut with stewed apples. Also, the next one is bone broth. So bone broth is something that's gained a lot of popularity due to its many different beneficial properties. Bone broth is actually very easy to make. I'm actually going to give you a recipe, and you do not have to follow it to a T. It does not have to be followed to a T. I'll tell you the constant ingredients that you definitely need in order to make a beneficial, healthy bone broth. Essentially, you could take about one chicken, the bones of one chicken. It doesn't matter how many bones. You could always have less, and it doesn't have to be bones for just one full chicken. It doesn't matter. You could do less than that. And about 12 cups of water. And you take 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. You throw that in a pot. And then you can put in salt, the salt to your liking, however much salt you want. And then from there, you can throw in the vegetable clippings and herbs, either fresh or dried herbs. And then basically you bring it to a boil. And then you simmer it. And then you let it simmer overnight or for 10 to 12 hours during the day. And basically, the things that you need, obviously, you need the bones. You need the bones because you need all the beneficial nutrients that come from the bones. But in order to release and to pull out the beneficial nutrients from the bones, you must put in the apple cider vinegar, because the apple cider vinegar is responsible for releasing the nutrients or pulling out the nutrients into the broth so that you could benefit from those beneficial nutrients. Now, the reason why it is helpful, bone broth is beneficial, it contains, well, it's high in vitamins and minerals and amino acids, and essentially it has collagen. Basically, it helps to support bone and joint health, which is collagen. And collagen also acts as a natural prebiotic. So essentially, as a prebiotic, you're actually feeding your beneficial microbes within your microbiome, allowing them to grow and to thrive. And also, too, collagen also helps heal and seal your leaky gut. Also, too, the bone broth contains L-glutamine, which basically helps basically seal up the tight gap junctions. Well, not seal, but tighten the tight gap junctions. The tight gap junctions are essentially, they're kind of like the gates that allow only small micromolecules to get through into your intestines so that those micromolecules, which are nutrients, can be absorbed by you. However, when the tight gap junctions are loose, it allows macromolecules to get into the bloodstream, and your immune system does not like macromolecules. It sees them as foreign invaders and therefore attacks them. And when it attacks these macromolecules, it creates inflammation, and inflammation leads to dysfunction, and dysfunction could possibly also lead to disease. So you do not want macromolecules to get through into your bloodstream. And in order to do that, you need to have tight, really tight gap junctions. And L-glutamine is responsible for tightening up those tight gap junctions, which are part of your small intestines. So that's just the benefits of consuming bone broth and stewed apples. It basically overall helps to heal and seal your leaky gut. So that's just a quick summary. In my next videos, I'll be talking about even more the different methods that you could implement to help heal and seal your leaky gut, otherwise known as pathogenic intestinal hyperpermeability. If you have any questions, go to heartfulfoods.com, go to my contact form, ask me those questions, because if those questions are really good where I could really expand on a big answer, I'll actually put it into a blog article or in a video to answer your questions. So I appreciate all your help and all your support. Again, my name is Brandon Drake, functional nutrition coach and therapeutic chef at heartfulfoods.com. Peace.